So all that cardio out the window, out the window, out the window. We need some cardio. Your heart definitely needs to get worked, but you can do that by walking. You can walk with a weighted vest. If you like to swim or bike, yeah, let's do that. But let's not do that for 45 minutes to an hour. Hey friend, real quick, before we dive in, I've got something you're going to love. My Strong Her 30 Challenge kicks off July 7th, and it's made just for you. 10 powerful strength workouts, all 30 minutes, all designed for your midlife body. It's just $7 or totally free if you're inside the Midlife Thrive Tribe. Grab your spot at www.getyourtrimon.com/stronger-30-challenge. Let's get strong together. Hello, friends, and welcome to the Menopause Makeover Podcast. It is another day here that we are talking about all things midlife. That's 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and beyond. It's not about lifting heavy for hours or following some influencer's crazy program. This episode walks you through exactly how midlife strength training should look for fat loss, hormone support, and long-term health. How to strength train for fat loss when you're over 40, hormonal, and you are busy, and you might feel overwhelmed with all the information out there, or you may be like, I'll call her Susie. That's not her real name, but this was a just 10 minutes ago conversation that I had that really hit home, and it's actually where I've come from too. And not everybody comes from an over-exercising mindset, but if you do, this is going to be for you. This episode is for everybody, but this story is for you. So here was the comment. They were talking about how they started to do my strength training videos and how at first they were like, this is so slow. This is so boring. I need to be doing more. This is not enough. But by the end of the week, they were feeling energetic. They were feeling calm. Their mind noise was less. They felt muscle fatigue, but energized. And they didn't feel like they needed to be on the hamster wheel to get results after 1 week. And so what I want to say about that is I too had the mindset, more is better. I need to feel like I'm dying. I need to be sweating. I need to feel like I need to drag myself off the floor. All of those thoughts, all of that kind of drive to over-exercise is something that is going to keep you in a high cortisol state, and it's going to backfire for your weight loss goals. It is going to backfire in supporting your hormones, and it is really going to backfire in that it's going to start taking a toll on you. When you're in your 40s, you can kind of handle that for a little bit, but when you hit menopause and your estrogen is gone and your energy levels have tanked or your adrenals are really struggling, that type of exercise is going to tank you. And I talked to so many different women about their exercise and where they're coming from. And like I said, that's not everybody. Everybody is not wanting to over-exercise, but a lot of us, have that mentality of all the cardio, 45 minutes to an hour every single day. And honestly, here's what I'm going to say is less is best when we're talking about cardio, especially when we're talking about steady state cardio that could go on for days. You could keep doing it for days. That is going to work against you. And so let's talk about what is going to work for you. And also let's talk about why strength training is the number one needle mover exercise after 40 for metabolism, hormone support, weight loss, and bone density. The main reason is because as we go into perimenopause and menopause, we start losing muscle mass anywhere from 3 to 8% per year, and actually per decade is the way this study showed. And when we lose muscle mass, our metabolism slows down. And when our metabolism slows down, we begin to gain fat. And when we begin to gain fat, we begin to gain it in our abdominal area, and we begin to gain visceral fat, which is the detrimental fat that is in between our organs, which increases our risk for all diseases. So what we want to do is we want to protect our muscles. We want to build our muscles. And in another podcast, I'm going to be talking about cleaning your muscles. So yes, you heard me right. But today, we're going to talk about why this is the number one needle mover exercise for the fat loss and the hormones. That is because you are going to prevent the muscle loss. Therefore, you can preserve, if not rev, your metabolism, especially with proper fueling before and after exercise and just an overall anti-inflammatory diet. And the weight training is really the strength training, the weight training is the only thing that has enough stimulus to break down your muscle fiber so that you can build it back up. It's not that I'm against Pilates. It's not that I'm against yoga or rebounding or all these other things, which there's so many benefits to that. Sometimes they're a great place to start. If you're just starting out with strength training, absolutely start out with some Pilates, start out with some body weight movements, start out with trim healthy work-ins, start out with something where maybe you're using bands or tubes. Do that for 4-6 weeks. Get a foundation. But to build muscle, we have got to overload the muscle. And the only way to do that is to lift heavy, and, or if you can't lift heavy, to use some techniques to use weights that maybe time under tension, or maybe you can use the weights in a different way so that you can overload that muscle without too much weight. Some of you have limitations. I understand that. And I do too. Welcome to 57. So your strength training, it is going to help you build the muscle. It is going to help you protect your muscle. And it is going to help you build your bones. That's another thing that happens is we start losing our bone. And the stats are insane with women that have bone breakage. 1 out of 3 women will fall and break something. And then after that, the story is not any better. It's because we are frail and we just get laid up, and then we become more frail. And then we can't go back to a vibrant lifestyle. And so we want to take a look at our bones as well as our muscles. Those are going to go hand in hand. How do you build bone? It is by building muscle. Strength training can help your metabolism. It can help you turn on fat burning. The more muscle that you have, the more calories you're burning at rest and even when you're working out. And so therefore, that is going to help you burn fat. That's going to help you burn calories. So all that cardio out the window, out the window, out the window. We need some cardio. Your heart definitely needs to get worked, but you can do that by walking. You can walk with a weighted vest. If you like to swim or bike, yeah, let's do that. But let's not do that for 45 minutes to an hour. That's called zone 2 training. We want the Goldilocks zone. And that would be more of maybe a walk or something intense. Something intense like jumping or sprinting or quick burst of plyometrics or something like that. Those are going to be the areas that cause enough stimulus for our hormones. So instead of thinking I need to get on the treadmill or the elliptical for 50 minutes today, and we're only spending 20 minutes on the weights, we want to avoid that. What we want to do is you want to strength train 2 to 3 times per week. If you are just starting, maybe start out with 1. move up to 2 times. And the other thing that's really important here is our recovery time. Our recovery time in perimenopause and menopause, but especially menopause, needs to be longer. We take longer to fully recover. And if you're not fully recovered and your muscles are still in the breakdown process, they will not build back up stronger. You will not have effective workouts, and you could possibly raise your cortisol levels, which could cause you to store more fat. So giving yourself at least 48 hours in between the strength training workout is a guideline for those of you that are in menopause. If you're in perimenopause, you can kind of get away with even 24 hours, but you definitely want to make sure that you're recovering. So on those off days, we wouldn't want you doing something more strength training, but you could do some HIIT training. You could do some short intensity trainings. You could do some rebounding. You could do whole body vibration plate. You could do what you like to do. Pilates is totally fine. And as long as we're not loading the muscles, you can do mobility exercises, but it's the strength training that you really want to give yourself a couple days to completely recover. Now, we can talk about split routines, and actually that's going to be another podcast as well. But today I want to say that science shows mostly here that the overall full body focus is going to most likely give you the fat burning results. And it's not for all the reasons that I was thinking. Honestly, we have to look at adherence. We have to look at energy levels. We have to look at low energy states. And when we talk about split routine versus whole body, split routine is where you do a certain exercise on Monday, a certain exercise on Tuesday, maybe you rest Wednesday, and then you are on Thursday and you're on Friday. Sometimes that is too much. Sometimes your body may need that stimulus. It's varied from woman to woman, but I will say overall, if you're just getting started, I would focus with that full body workout. Sometimes we like to do more of a glute and low body focus, still full body, but we're focusing on the larger muscle groups, which is going to benefit you by our larger muscles are going to contribute to metabolism increase or fat burning. You're going to use those muscles to burn more calories at rest and at work. There are also some other benefits to working the glutes. It is tied to our cognition and longevity. Isn't that interesting? There's another study that said our glute strength and our glute strength is tied to those things. So we do want to do full body exercises, and usually that's 6 to 10 exercises depending on the time that you have. Most of us don't have an hour to spend at the gym, although I beg to differ. I think we could, but you can get a good full body workout in 30 to 45 minutes. I personally like to do 2 30-minute full body workouts and then a 45-minute lower body focused full body workout each week. And that is really what you want to shoot for. Okay, pause. Are you signed up for Strong Her 30 yet? This is your chance to build muscle, boost metabolism, and feel stronger in your skin in just 2 weeks. We start July 7th. It is not too late and it's not too hard, but it is designed to work with your hormones. Come do it with me. Link is in the show notes. How do I know what type weights to use? And that would be the easiest way to describe how hard it should be is if you can pick up a weight and do bicep curls until the cows come home, a 3-pound weight, a 1-pound weight, maybe even a 5-pound weight, that is not enough muscle overload to help your muscle grow. The last 3 repetitions of your set should be difficult. And when I say difficult, you should feel the burn. It should be somewhat hard to do the last couple, but you could do maybe 2 or 3 more, but that's all. That's called 2 or 3 in reserve. That is how you can choose your weights. And we also like to utilize more compound movements as opposed to isolated exercise, because of that reason that we are wanting to work through all of the larger muscle groups. So instead of me sitting here doing a whole lot of tricep or bat wing, exercise with my arms, I'm actually going to be maybe doing a squat with an overhead press for one exercise. And maybe the next exercise, I might do a lunge with a bicep curl. So I'm using multi-muscle groups. And so using those compound movements can be very, very helpful as well. One thing you want to take a look at when we start strength training is that the first 6 weeks, really, if you haven't trained before, is going to be your nervous system getting used to your weights, and your body getting used to weights and moving it around in space. It's your brain and your body, your nervous system. It's important for your body to get acclimated. So it is advisable to maybe go with lighter weights until you get the moves, until you understand how to do the moves properly. That's one of the things that I work on and teach when I'm teaching strength training. And this goes way back to my years as an aerobics instructor in the 90s. And we were taught to cue. We were taught to cue every single movement so that you know what's next and you know how to do it. As a personal trainer, same thing. We are cueing our clients on here mechanically. Here's the best way to do this exercise. So in learning how to do that, you want to pick videos that that you watch, whether it be mine or whether it be, I love Trim Healthy's. I love their Pearl and Serene's videos. There's other people that I like as well, but you want to look for people that are actually doing these exercises the correct way and teaching you how to do it the correct way so that you can get the best results and so that you avoid injury and straining. Sometimes that's going to happen, ladies, and it happens even to me. And I'm a trainer and I've been doing this for years. But when estrogen declines, we do not have as much protection for our joints and our ligaments and our cartilage, our connective tissue. And a lot of times we start seeing things like frozen shoulder and plantar fasciitis and gluteal tendinopathy, hip issues, bursitis. All of these can be related to menopause. And you can do one wrong move, ask me, I know it, or one wrong pickleball sprint, and you can tear something or you can hurt something. And so what I want to say is we definitely want to navigate that and we want to prevent that. And one way that we can prevent it is you definitely want to do warm up and cool down, and we want to progress. We don't want to start super heavy. You want to meet yourself where you are, and you want to warm up. You want to do some stretches. You want to make sure that your form is correct. And if there's some exercises that bother you, if we can't correct them with your form, then I need to avoid that and we need to find something else. And there are so many options. So if your brain is telling you, well, I can't do lunges and squats, so I can't, we can always find something for you to do. So just know that. But not everybody is going to be able to do all the things. So we definitely want to stretch before and warm up before, make sure we have proper form. And we also want to hydrate well. That's very important for avoiding injury as well. The other thing is, besides avoiding injury, it's finding time and it's planning the time in your schedule. It is just not going to happen. Strength training, there's got to be a system for that. And that is, you pick what you're going to do first. You get all your things ready. You plan it. I get everything ready for myself so that I know I can walk into my bedroom or to my office and it's all ready for me. And I know the exercises I'm going to do. And then I know that I'm going to fuel with protein after my strength training exercise. Why? Because your muscles are open and ready to be fed, and you can feed them well so that they can recover, they can grow, and you can do that with protein. My favorite post-exercise protein is Trim Healthy essential amino acids and some creatine. My second would be Trim Healthy optimized protein powder in almond milk with some creatine. Why the creatine? Creatine is also helpful for muscle recovery, muscle growth, muscle protein synthesis, and cognition. And so when we feed our muscle when it's ready to be fed, it's just like giving the baby the bottle, right? Like, oh, thank you for feeding that. Thank you for helping this grow. Thank you for taking care of this muscle. It's just going to help you protect your muscle is what it's going to do. So instead of lifting heavy for hours or, doing some type of everyday workout where you're 5 days a week, intense, all in, hopefully you have found a sweet spot here. This is the science behind what works best for women in perimenopause and menopause who are wanting to lose weight and support your hormones, even if you have a busy schedule. More is not better. You can carve out 2 30-minute segments in your life to do some strength training. And if you aren't strength training, let's start with 1 a week. If you are and you're already doing 2, let's take a look at, do we need to change our exercise? Do we need to add more weight? Do we need to do something different? Do we need to overload our muscle differently? If you are overtraining, it's hard to back off. It's very hard to back off. I had to go through that myself. However, it has served me and many, many clients well to back off, train hard, yes, but let's give your body the ample recovery that it needs.
Did you know that I have a free community of women in midlife just like you? Busy women who are working hard to lose weight with the Trim Healthy plan but feel hijacked by hormones and unexplained weight gain. I share menopause tips, superfood spotlights, delicious recipes, and so much more. Come join us at facebook.com/groups/get your trim on.